Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all? Right. I was a little bit in my own world there. Sorry, I do apologise. Right, let's just check. Yeah, there I am. We're all live. So let's hope we stay that way and things are good. Right. What a lovely afternoon it's turning into. For those of you that don't know, my name's Lisa. I'm the face behind Lisa's Loft. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the West Midlands in the UK. Yeah, I'm deep in the Black Country, hence my accent. People point it out. They usually call us Brummies, but we are most definitely not. We're not from Birmingham. We're from the Black Country. So I'm not originally, so it doesn't really matter to me. Right, so apparently we've got a heat wave on the way. I hope it hurries up. I'm currently sat here in a jumper because yeah, it's not actually that warm today. Right, so we're continuing on with our use of the extra beautiful ordinary you suite. And yeah, I'm at a loss. I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's not like I've just got up or anything. I've been up hours. I think I've got that much. I'm going away tomorrow morning. Me and Louise are off down to see Emma for her summer retreat. And yeah, my head's spinning a bit at the moment with things I need to get ready for that. So maybe that's the problem. But anyway, I thought today I would include the product of the month from Stampin' Up, which is this die. It's the Eyelet Blooms die. And it's a gorgeous large die. Let me switch the camera and see if you can see it a little bit better. There we go. But it's a gorgeous die. And this is available for £5 with any order over £70. So if you're placing an order anyway, and you're just under that £5, that £70, I believe it's really worth adding that little bit extra. It measures just under 6 by just over 4¼ So in centimeters, we have 15 by 11. So it's a really good size die. Standard A6 card base, which we all know 10 by 14.4 fits perfectly on there. So I thought we would bring that in today. And also, I have the Artisan Sketch Garden paper. I love this paper. It is 12 by 12 and it's all florals. So we've got some with black background, some with white. We've got that one which has that on the reverse. I mean, these are just perfect for adding colour to, which is what I think I'm going to do today. Stripes. And they look like poppies. And then we have that one, which are just little flowers, which have this that looks like roses. Then we have this with the little bitsy buds with a spray of flowers, which look like lots of different flowers on that one. And then we have that one, with some nice spots. This one, which I love that. I think it's so cute with vases. I've seen lots of gorgeous things made of that. So I thought we could use some of that today. And I'm thinking, do we go vases or a spray? A couple of different sprays, isn't there? And I thought we could do some colouring. I think a vase might be nice for a change. So let's colour one of these vases and we can fussy cut it. Because I am bringing in the Stampin' Lounge Ultimate Card Making Jumpstart Pack again. As we always do, we'll start with one of these and we're on sketch number 4. And we have our card base. We have a layer. We have a smaller layer and then 2 little elements and a sentiment. So on the back, it gives you all the measurements. Should you want to use those measurements, that's up to you. And a quick tip, use clear storage. You can see your supplies easily and avoid buying duplicates. That's fabulous, isn't it? Nice tips, storage tips as well. Right, so that's what we're going to be using for our first card. But I want to colour a couple of these first, I think. I'll start with our colouring. And I thought they could be our triangular elements from there. We'll use a couple of vases. Right, so I'm going to stick to the colours that are in this suite and use some of the papers from this suite. So I want a couple of greens for our leaves, and we've got Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. They're the nearest greens in this suite. So let's grab our blends. We've got Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon. Now let's do some blending on there. And I think I'm going to go with these two. I think they'll be a nice height. I don't want nothing too large, but together that will come slightly in front of that. Yeah, let's go for those. Right, so I'm going to use light Pretty Peacock. I'm going to use it on this one here. I'm just going to colour the leaves. I'm not going to be particular. If I miss some bits, that's okay. I don't mind. But it's just adding some colour into it. It's trying to work out what are flowers and what are leaves because they're very similar. I think those are actually flowers. That's a bit behind there. And then I'm going to switch between the two. I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. I'm going to go in with my dark first. And I'm just going to put a little bit shading where they would be that little bit darker on the bottom and where they're lying underneath. Oh, don't need to use the brush end. I'll just blend that out. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog. She's currently got a chew, but it was the only way I could keep her quiet. I'll do the same in this one. That's just going to have a little bit of shading up the middle. It's going to be totally dark because it's under that one. blend that out on there. That's totally blended that out, so I am going to go back in and just add a little bit of detail to those. This one, a bit on there. And I find it blends out actually better with the brush tip. And you can tell the weather's getting better. I don't know if you can hear that. Everyone's got the lawnmowers out. I had one neighbour do the lawn earlier, and the other one's doing it now. Right, flowers. So we've got, trying to look at our colours, we've got Flirty Flamingo. We've also got Daffodil Delight. Real Red, but I think that'll be a little too much maybe, but we'll bring it out. Timid Tiger. I'm really not into orange, so we'll leave that one. Lemon Lolly, Petal Pink. Let's see which. It's a nice combo there, isn't it? It's lovely, warm, bright combo there. Got those that are a bit cooler. I think I'm going to go Daffodil Delight on these. Let's do, because they're quite thin, I think having the brighter of the yellows will be better. That one just want to click. And then I'll just add a tiny bit of Daffodil Delight light over the top and just to the ends. Just adds a little bit of detail. And I think I am gonna go Real Red, just to make it really pop. Yeah, let's go Real Red. And because this is like done like a rose, I'm actually just doing dots around places where it would be that little bit darker. And then we'll just blend that out. So I'll just add a little bit more detail into that. And then this one. I find when it's something smaller, doing dots is a bit, I find it more forgiving. It's easier than drawing a line can sometimes look a bit less natural. And I mean, it's different if you're doing a shadow from a straight line, but when it's on flowers and moving things, I think dots looks better. It's not so formal. There we go. Our lovely petals there. I am going to use a little bit of dark Pretty Peacock just on these little bits. And just some extra foliage. And then I'm going to bring out Pool Party for our water. And I'm just going to go straight in with light. over. And I am using the brush end because it's a large area to cover. I think my pool party on its way out, to be honest. Hi, Michelle. I'm good, thank you. How are you? And I'm just using the bullet tip because it tends, because my brush tip is running out. I'm just using the bullet tip because it has got a bit more ink in, so it is a bit darker, just to add some areas. And I'm just really lightly holding my pen, and again I'm doing dots. Just add a little bit of shadow on there, bottoms. There's nothing formal on that. I've missed a couple of leaves in here. I'll just go over them with the light Lost Lagoon to tie in. Yeah, beautiful. I know, yes. It's finally come out here. I've just been on a co-working call, and they were saying about, like, you know, the heat wave that we're going to be having, and there was people from all over the world on it, but there was us three, four of us from the UK, and every single one of us had a jumper on. All the others are there in t-shirts and everything, and yeah, we're sat in the jumpers. But yes, it is coming. The sun is out. It's looking rather nice. And I am going to go outside after my back door's just slammed shut. After I've finished here, I'm going to go and sit and enjoy the afternoon sun. Though I do need to go to the shop because I've run out of milk. I mean, we have a milkman, and we have a pint delivered every day. But I've been having cereals, and I've used it, and we always keep a crate of UHT cartons as a backup. Well, we were getting down them, and I said to Dell, you know, because he's the one that goes and fetches them. Hi, Pat. How are you? Thanks for joining. Said to Dell, you know, we're getting down and we need some more. So we went, and he couldn't be bothered to carry a crate. So he only brought 2 cartons. And they were in the house. And I've used them. And we've run out. I had the last bit this morning in a cup of tea. Just before my call. And I was like, no. So I've got squash now. Excuse me. You've had jumpers on all week and a blanket. No jumper today. No. Well, that's good. I've got to say, of an evening, yes, I sit with my throw over me. Normally just over my legs. I'll put my cardigan on and I have my throw over my legs because they get a bit nippy. But it doesn't help. Our bedroom window is always open when we're in because of the cats. That's how they come in and out. For those who don't know, I live in a bungalow. So it's always open. So there is a draft that comes through. And of an evening when you're sat there, it does get quite drafty on your legs. Pat says, I'm sitting in the garden enjoying the sun. Looking forward to seeing you Saturday. Are you coming Saturday, Pat? Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that would be brilliant. Yeah, in the garden, as you should be, which is, like I say, where I will be after this. Yeah, really looking forward to that. We're coming down tomorrow. Me and Louise are coming down. Staying tomorrow night to be there ready for Saturday. Can't wait. Really excited. I've only done one of Emma's retreats before, and it was fabulous. And I said, that's it. I can't miss a retreat. So, yeah, coming down. It'll be nice. Though I do feel I'm a bit of a yo-yo at the moment because I went to Emma's a fortnight ago for a craft along session that she put on. Yeah. Luckily, it's not a bad journey down. It's in Littlehampton, which is right on the south coast, more or less straight down the middle. But yeah, it's not a bad run actually for where it is. All right, let's do this one. It's nice going and seeing everybody. Oh, and Maggie. Oh, lovely. Fabulous. That'll be great. It seems so long ago since I saw everyone in Cologne. And for a lot of like people, I won't see them for like 2 years, because we're not having an on stage next year. On stage is our convention, and we get to see everybody from up and down the country, and some from around the world. They come over to the European on stage to see people they know, and just to experience what it's like here, well, in Europe. But we're not having one next year. It's a virtual one, because the following year they're having a real big one in Utah, which is where they're based, because it's the 40th anniversary. So I'm not going to get to see a lot of people next year. But yeah, hopefully get to see quite a few in Utah. No Eastergate, presume you are booked into the Premier Inn at Fontwell. Well, yeah, the venues at Eastgate, and it's just more people up this way tend to know or have heard of Littlehampton rather than Eastergate. Arundel, we're booked into Premier Inn at Arundel. It was where Emma suggested, because we decided to go a bit closer to Emma this time, because I usually stay at the Travel Lodge just up the road at Fontwell Park. But because we're meeting Emma on the Friday tomorrow, we stopped closer to Emma. Have her coming out there, and Louise wants to go and visit the sea and have an ice cream on the sea, on the beach. So yeah, we're stopping there for a change. I say usually, I've only been twice. But that's the one I've stayed at. It's cheap and cheerful. It's close. It's a bed for the night. It's all good. Right. So there we go. We've got our coloured images, which will take our 2 triangles. I'll have those like that. which looks good. So I thought this panel we could have as our die cut panel and then have paper behind. That's what I'm thinking. Rather than, I know my go-to would be to have that as the background and then a panel of paper on it. But I want more of the, I want more of the paper, and I think that'll just. You were born and bred in LA, short for Little Hampton. We have a new Premier Inn opened in Bognor. Oh, right. Ah. Bognor's not that close though, is it? Like, I mean, I know it's not, it's not far, like, but it's not like on the doorstep, is it? Right, let's emboss this. We'll do the whole panel. And then we can chop it down to what we want. Right, I'm thinking here, what do I need? I'm no good at thinking today. No good at thinking. Brain doesn't want to think. Right. I am going to do it the other way. Up. You can do it this way. There's nothing wrong with doing it up. Normally we put the die on top of the card, but because I want to make sure I've got it centered and level, I don't want my piece to be my pattern to be wonky. I'm putting it up that way so that I can see, and then taping it to keep it in place. There we go. That's quite stiff. That should have cut it with how stiff it was. I'll be shocked if it hasn't. Oh, it looks beautiful. Right. Upload that out the way. No, but it's on the seafront looking out the beach. You can walk along the prom. Oh, how gorgeous. Definitely don't want a wonky donkey. No, I don't want a wonky donkey one. It won't look right. I'll get rid of those on the wrong bin. Yeah, my sister actually lives in Watchet in Somerset. And she lives on beach, say loosely, because there's not a lot of sand just outside hers. But the seawall is like she's got a backyard, if you like, and that's the seawall. And it's lovely. Sit there watching the water, watching the lovely brown Bristol Channel. But still that nice of the waves, isn't it? And there are some steps just up the way that you can, if you go along the beach, you can get to, and then there's a nice sandy bit then. Right, look at that. How gorgeous is that? And then you can, some of these bits will lift up and you can have some lift up pieces. Right, so do I want that as my back? I don't think I do. I want that just as my panel. So the panel dimension they're giving us, which is C, is 5 by 9. So I can get 2 out of this. So let's trim this down. 5 by 9. That's a little panel, which will go with our elements. I'm just going to lift some of these. I'm not going to do all of them, but I do want to lift some of them. It's easier with my nail, actually. Just get your nail, bend it, get your nail under, and bend it back over. I mean, they will get pushed down again in the post and what have you, but it's just nice to start off with a bit of extra dimension. I'll poke some of these out so that you can actually see the pattern a bit more. Those don't really matter over there, they'll be covered. Right, let's have these up a bit. I just think this die is fabulous. And I mean, you could just use this as a card front. You wouldn't need much else on it. Just sentiment, some embellishments, and away you go. Right. Look at this. So that will be like so. And then we want some paper as our background. And let's grab our DSP. And I quite like the Flirty Flamingo. Or we've got some of the wash. That's quite nice, actually. What else have we got? Spots or honeycomb? That one has spots. So let's try it on the spots. Spots tie in with a die cut piece. I like that. That's nice and clean. Or the honeycomb. They all look very nice, don't they? I tend to look at the screen because I can see better because it's further away. I'm quite liking that, actually. You know, pool parties are normal what I would be drawn to. But I like that. So let's do a piece of this. Now we're going to chop this 10 by 14.4. The spots make it pop. Ah, I see. Hang on then. Let's cut a piece of this as well. That's already at 10. No, it's not. We can do that. And so we've got our two pieces. We've got our spots. We've got our colours. You know, now I've got them there. I think I prefer the spots as well. I do like that. But yeah, I think it's too much going on. Maybe it's because it had more of that darker when I was looking at it. We'll go with this. Right, so I'm going to glue this piece down first. I mean, any of the papers would go because we're using the same colours. It's just what looks more pleasing to the eye, and that can be different for everybody. I'm going to pop that there. So I've got equal top and left. There we are. And then we'll pop that one. We have that one flat, that one raised, and then our sentiment raised. Spots for you too. There you go. I can always make another card, yes. And I will. It'll all get used, don't worry. Right. Let's grab dimensionals for this. So we'll raise this up slightly. And we'll pop that one there. So it's half off. And it lines up at the bottom, keeping all that nice and neat. Those need to go in my other bin. Okay. So now we need our sentiment. And there aren't many sentiments in this, as we found out. There's none in the one that comes with the bun with the sweet, but the extra one has got a couple of nice ones that we've used, but nothing for a sentiment strip. So we can bring in anything from here. Happiest birthday wishes. How big's that? I haven't used this. This is another product of the month. And when I looked, it's still available last night. No, I think that's going to be too wide. We want a thinner. Come on. We can go back in there. Right, let's have a look. We've got my box of goodies. Oh, do you know? Quite like this, just very plain. It's your birthday. And I have used it quite a bit, but when I've got quite fancy bits, I quite like just a very plain it's your birthday. And I think that'll be perfect. I'm going to try it on basic white in black, just keeping it simple. I might end up doing white embossed on black. Depends how much I like it. Just want to keep it quite light, and there we go. That's beautiful. And then there's dies for this. Words of Beauty, this is. And it's a lovely stamp and die set that has some lovely cutouts to die cut words. Right. We have that die, which is a perfect size for a sentiment across a card. We can die cut this out. I'll have to get some more tape, won't I? I die cut my other tape, so I chucked it. Oh, I've got a cat living under my desk at the moment. It's Mindy, our oldest cat. She's around 20, She was a rescue, so we're not 100% sure on her age. But we've had her 18 years. Hayden was about 2 when we had her. And they said she was around 2. She's around 20. And she's taken to living under my desk and not doing a lot of anything, unfortunately. She's eating, she's not drinking. She's eating wet food. I got to have some wet food there, and I had to buy some tubes of like moussey, very sloppy moussey stuff, and they're actual treats. But she's really liking them, so that's what she's having. Just to make sure we're getting stuff in her. She purrs, she loves fuss still, so I don't believe she's in any pain. She's not showing signs of anything like that. If she was, obviously we'd take her to the vets, but as she's not, because of her age, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just let her enjoy. But yeah, under my desk. See, it's just the perfect size, isn't it? I will add a dimensional to either end of that. And pop it with those leaves coming over. Like it, like it. Now, there is splattering put on here for extra texture, but because it's upside down, because we've got the spots on the paper, and then we've also got the die cuts on the panels, I'm not going to splatter. It doesn't need any more texture. It's got enough. But it's got a bow. Might put a bow actually. I want to colour bow. I'm trying to see if I've got any ribbon, but I haven't got any ribbon that goes. So maybe it's twine time. Thank you. I don't know why that's in there. That's not the same. That's strange. I've got 2 linen threads. A totally different colour. And I am thinking linen thread just to keep it. I don't think white is right. I think bring in the linen thread. Nice and natural with having the flowers. Pool party. I haven't got pool party ribbon. I have retired pool party ribbon. Lots of it. But I can't actually get all my ribbons at the moment. The ones I've got out are current. We will have to go with linen thread. Because I don't have everything. Have we got a pool party ribbon at the moment that's current? Don't know if we do we? I say it's hard to keep up with what is and what isn't at the moment. There's that much. Right. I want to put that under there, but I think I want it further in. Oh no, just there would do. Popped in there. I was going to put it a bit further over, but the dimensionals there, because I thought it was closer to the edge than it was. Right. And glue dot, grab, oops, come on, grab that, lift it up and put it in as far as I can. There we go. Beautiful. Put that away. Right, so I want some little dots or something. We've got the array of dots on here that we could use, but I'm kind of thinking if we've got anything else, quite like the white. Look at those new colours, aren't they beautiful? No, I don't think so. The last one you remember was white baubles. Yes. Yeah, that's what the one I remember. Let's have a look what we've got. I haven't got lots of embellishments either. Oh, we could try see what these are the pearls of beauty, and these are cum cake, so it would tie in with the linen thread. Yeah, I like that. I'll have one up here, and if we have them hiding so that they're not full blown in your face. There we go. I like that. Ties that in nicely. Let's pop that away. Oh, and thread can go away. And we just need a card base, and I'm going to keep it basic white. Well, give that a burnish. Right. Gorgeous. And then that inside, because we always need to make sure we do our inside. We can add, because that's paper, I'm not going to fussy cut another, so I'm just going to add a strip across the bottom. Just to tie it in. And I think it looks just as nice having just a little strip of coordinating paper inside as having it all stamped. It's just that following it through, isn't it? Makes it look really pretty. And then, of course, you do your envelope. I tend not to decorate a lot of envelopes. I need to do it more. But due to storage, if I put an envelope with every single card I do, that's more or less going to double my storage space needed. And I'm struggling for space, I'll be honest, which is why I can't get at my retired stuff. I craft in my lounge. I have my desk in my lounge, and it's all up in front of me. And I've already got like trolleys and everything, so I can't physically fit anything else in my lounge. I'm trying to declutter. I've got the sideboard behind me that has got, I've taken over that. So I need to declutter some stuff out of there, so it gives me some more storage. Right. That's a little, I don't know if that's a mark in the paper or that's a little spot of glue. There we go. So there's our first card following the sketch. And then we'll do another card. And for our second card, what shall we do? I have no idea. I quite fancy using a bit of some different colours. So let's go. I've got a card I need to make as a swap. And I've got to use Lost Lagoon, which I have here. So we can have Lost Lagoon and Melon Mambo and Night of Navy. Those three, which are very pretty. Night of Navy. That's Misty Moonlight. And I think I'm going to have a go and recreate that card again in those colours, using different colours, and see how it looks. And that helps me out also with my card swap I've got to make. Now, obviously, it'll be different because the other piece of display I could have bought, I can't use it for this. I could use it to create something else, another card, but I want to create this. And that'll be that done then. That piece won't get wasted, don't worry. It will get used. So I'm going to start, I'm going to change it up. I think I'm going to have the die cut piece at the back. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it like that. So I'm changing my mind already. Let's do our flowers. We'll have another 2 flowers. And I think we'll go, what shall we do? This one and this one. No, this one and this one. I'm looking at the colours thinking I've only really got one bright flower colour. So we'll go with this Melon Mambo. That colour I use a lot. And again with flowers, so dottage. I'm just gonna do them all because they're only tiny. Don't take long. So what you don't want is for the ink that you put down first to dry too much, because then it's harder to blend. Of course, we're only doing them bits, it'll be fine. Alright, then we've got our that's not Lost Lagoon. Pretty Peacock. Lost Lagoon. Grab our dark. Let's do bits down here. And slightly out there. And then like. Hello, Julie. Hello, Wendy. You love the DSP. It's fabulous, isn't it? Thank you, Julie. This DSP is perfect for beginners. It is, yeah, yeah. If you aren't into stamping so much, or you worry about your stamping, this is great because, yeah, you can just colour in the images. I am going to go for this one. No, I wasn't going to. Going to do that one, but I want some more flowers. And we can do nicer navy flowers. Right, I'm off the page, aren't I? Sorry. There's no reason why you can't do nicer navy flowers. We can have any colour flowers. Because it's our card. There we go. Bits of green here and there. Right, I'm going to start with my light night of navy because I'm not sure I want any dark on it because it's quite dark anyway. And then what I can do is just dot over the top, and that will give a little bit of an impression. You can layer up the alcohol markers. And I'm wondering if the same with this, that ends lighter. It is a little bit, isn't it? So there you go. Varying shades. I probably should have done that for the forefront, but never mind. That's just the way it goes. There we go. So we've got blue flowers. I am just going to use a bit of Pool Party for here. And that one's a solid vase, so we don't need to do that one. Right. Now we can cut these. And then I'm going to do a panel the same. To sit against. And then I might stamp my own DSP. Dog, you'll have to wait. Dog now wants to play ball. She's obviously finished the chew. Evangeline. The problem with being at home, she wants to play all the time. They're not too bad to fussy cut these images either. I'm quite forgiving because they're almost sketched. I think she's lost a ball now. It's a shame, isn't it? Well, I can't get it because you've put it behind there now. Wait a moment. Dear, dear. Very impatient, my dog. Not that she's spoilt in any shape or form. What is it? Go. Had to move everything. Dear, dear. Right. Last one. I'm loving this paper. Really am. It's beautiful. When I saw it on stage, there were some gorgeous examples done with it. And I was like, I really like that. And I do like DSPs that have images you can colour, cut out. It allows you to make something with just a pack of DSP, if you like. You don't need no stamped images particularly. You can just go for it with this. And you can use one of the other pieces as a background that you could colour if you wanted to. Have these in the foreground, fussy cut, and a sentiment, embellishments, and that's it, isn't it? You don't need separate images at all. I mean, not that we don't want the stamps. Thanks, Michelle. Yes, you have a lovely week too, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, yes, I've been over my hour. How time flies. Right. Mind you, I weren't quite with it to begin with, was I? My head was a little fuzzy to begin with, and I weren't quite sure what I was doing. Mind you, is that any different to normal with me? I'm not sure. Right. Last side. This one's a bit more intricate, but as long as you don't try to be perfect with it. It's like when you're trying to draw a straight line, isn't it? They say, just go for it, just do it. If you go too slow, and the more you think about it, the worse the line will be. And I think the same goes sort of with fussy cutting. Just go for it. You know, the borders I've left on this aren't equal. My cutting isn't that precise, but that's okay because no one's going to come up to it and inspect. And a lot of time, that's why we leave the white border. It helps hide those little areas where we're not so precise. Sometimes we go a bit close. I mean, there are pieces of this where I have actually touched the black line, but that's fine. Ooh, I like. What I might do, wondering whether I should add colour to that, but we'll see. Right, so I've got our panel. I'm going to use the same because I've got it here. 5. Oh, I'll get through that. This. Excellent. That'll make another one. 9. Which will go on that. Let's pick some of these up. Come on, up you come. Last one. Okie dokie. Love it. Right. Yeah, that's great. Right, background. So we need Melon Mambo, Lost Lagoon, or Night of Navy. I'm kind of thinking Lost Lagoon, so that they stand out. And in fact, I've got two-tone Lost Lagoon, so we can be a little bit lighter. We don't have to have this brightness of Lost Lagoon cardstock. We can actually have a little bit lighter. Oh, ribbon across panel. Yeah, could do that. Night of Navy. I think Night of Navy. I'd go two-tone again. Where's two-tone Night of Navy? There we go. I just don't want it to be too heavy for Night of Navy. Picks out the flowers. Okay. We'll go Night of Navy panel. Um, 10, 14.4. Yeah. And then ribbon across. Oh, I don't think I've got any ribbon in this colour either. I've got in colours. I might be able to colour that actually. So I've got some bubble bath. I think it's bubble bath. Faux linen. On here. Yeah, faux linen bubble bath. So I could colour some of that. Right, let's cut enough to go round and tie. Sorry, pussycat. Silicone mat. Blend. Ribbon. Use the dark blend. Just going to allow that end bit to dry a little before I pick it up. This is the problem with doing this. You get inky, and if you use it too quick, you get ink all over your card. But it's a great way to colour ribbon. I could have coloured it for the other one, couldn't I? I usually keep a white ribbon for doing this, but I had the basic beige. Which I used to use, but of course I haven't got that anymore. Right. I am just going to give that a heat just so that it dries a little bit. It only needs the alcohol to evaporate. There we go. That's done. So we've got Melon Mambo ribbon. I don't know why I just threw that like that. Our panel. Wrap that round there. Come on. There we go. Right, I'm going to tape that down because of it being a narrow and it being die cut. It scrunches easy and folds. So I don't want to have to keep pulling at it tight when I'm tying it. Beauty of our tear and tape, being able to do it one-handed. I have to sit there picking, trying to find the end. Right, let's add a bow. The only downside, really, of colouring your ribbon is it does go a little bit stiff. But you can still tie a little bow. There we go. How gorgeous. I'll trim that off. In my other bin. That can go in that bin. Let me plug my phone back in before it dies. There we go. I've only got a set amount of plugs and they're all in use. Right. Here we go. Let's pop this down. Haven't really been working with the Beautiful Ordinary Life suite, have we? With we used a piece of the paper for the first card. Never mind. It's all good. Oh, that a bit higher. And then we can add this one on a bit lower. On a couple on here. So does everyone have crafty plans for the weekend? I know Pat does. Shall we sing, Pat? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, I don't want to make this one a It's Your Birthday because it's going as a swap. So what else have we got in here? You're a great friend. I appreciate you. See, I like Just Because, but the Just Because is too big. I love you. No, thank you. I appreciate you. Not feeling those. No matter what. Not following you there. What have I got? Could do with something that just says like just a note, but that's large. I've got the banner sayings, but they're quite tiny. Just having a look. Oh, what's this? Just because, or cheering you on. So this is the Flowering Meadow. And I think we'll have, oh, there's a thanks. No, cheering you on. I like that. Oh, the fact I only use some of the... Yeah. You think just because, Pat? Just wondering if it's going to be a bit small. Could have done with that being a bit lower, really. So I can pop it over. Let's do just because and cheering you on. Got plenty of card to do it on. Small is good. Small can be good, but it's not always what we want. Come on. Right. I am going to do it in black. Because our images are black. Excuse me while I get really close and personal. Hi, Carol. Oh, craft away. Right, so I want just because the other way. I want the banner the other way, and I want right. I'll cut this without going too close to either of them. So I can put that in that way, so that our banner will come that way. Could use banner signs, couldn't I? And then cheering you on. Right, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. So just because around there. Really enjoying this one-on-one. As might be out soon. Sitting here in the sun. Okay. Or we could. No, they don't look right down there. I don't know. Just because it's, I don't know. I think it's too small. It just feels too small. That feels better. Like I say, everyone's eye is different, and on this one, my eye doesn't like the smaller. We're going to add that there. Sorry. That'll be used for summer. That can go on the other card. Right, Evangeline, shush. Right, card base. I'm not sure that white is the colour for this. I don't know. Let's try some different colours. What we got? Lost Lagoon. Where's Lost Lagoon? Don't tell me I've got no lost lagoon. Not like me to run out. Lost lagoon. Yeah. That's our lost lagoon. Oh. I have got a lot of men and numbers. Well, not over. Can. I don't normally have this many card bases. Actually, I like the tone on tone Lost Lagoon, Night of Navy, because that's the two-tone. It allows trim down. Trim down what this? That's so it's got a bigger border. No, 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 no. Julie like Mamba. You like Mamba, do you, Julie? I do like that. It's bright. I don't like the wider border, and I'm sorry. I like it on navy. That's good trim panel. No. It's very rare I do wide borders. I would have to trim it a lot. I do like my standard borders. Right. There we go. Right, inside. So laughing at me. Oh dear. What should we put inside here? Because we haven't, well, we have got paper. We could put across. I keep talking like that and I've got to stop it. My desk's a mess. I got that many coloured cards stuck out. It's ridiculous. Yes, Evangelina, no. Right. Let's just grab a bit of this. And I might even add a little bit of something to it. 1.5 centimetres strip. It's on the floor. There we go. I'm just going to, just for some interest, which I should have done on here, really, as well. Where is silicone mat? Yeah, that's nice. I'm laughing at all the requests messing with your process. It's fine. I don't mind. I quite like it. It's good to try things. I should have flicked on there. I might yet. Flicked, splattered, whatever you want to call it. Just to add a little bit of extra interest. Now, it's nice to get other people's viewpoints. Like I said, everyone's eye is different. And sometimes, I'll go with what you say because it's perhaps something I hadn't thought of. And when I try it, it works. Other times, I am going to ignore you totally. because I like what I've done. Right, let's just put that there. Let's grab light Night of Navy. And I'm just going to a little bit of flick there. That's a little bit up here. Just to tie it in. A bit more there. That's it. Fab. That just ties that in and breaks up the plainness. You can hardly see it really. Right. What we got in here that we can use? We've got our white. I like those. I like all of them. Or we can just go traditional. No. What colour are them? I think they're strawberry slush, aren't they? Yeah. Right. Look, it's good to see how different people's eyes do certain colours. The beauty of crafting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. White. Diamante. Come on then, Mamba. Yeah, you. Carry on with your Mamba. That's fine. I'm going to give you a decision now. And I'm going to go with it because I like either. So, rhinestones or pearls? Rhinestones, pearls. They're iridescent pearls, may I have you know. But yeah, which one we're going to go for? Let me know. And I'll tidy up a little bit. That can go away in the bits to keep. I know Facebook has pearls, says Carol. Okay, that's what we're doing. I do like these pearls. Right. I have a large one there. Small one there. Look on the other one. And, oops. A large up here. Nope. Don't like the large. It needs a small. There. I think we need more. It needs more. There we go. 5 on there. Because they're little and dainty. And get away with 5 of those. Right. And there we have it. Our 2 cards. Completely different, but the same from that. 3 or 5 is the rule. It's right. It is. Need odd numbers. It's very rare I put 5 on a card. Because I'm tight. Of all the tabs. Julie says, just messing. That's the most lively I've been all week. Oh, gastroenteritis. Oh, my life. Oh, sorry. Not nice. Hope you feel better soon. So, yeah. I'm really pleased with those. And I've got my swap made. So thank you very much for helping me create that. All right, we'll switch cameras. So I don't know why. Look at that. I've got cardstock sticking out everywhere. Oh dear, I've got to put everything away. I'll put that away. Anyway, I've cheered you up. Oh, good. Amazing. Thank you for a great time. Love them both. See you Saturday, Pat. Thanks for coming on. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Yeah, I think sometimes it's what we need, isn't it? We just need to, you know, go with it and just enjoy it and laugh at ourselves. I do quite often. Right. Thank you all. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. Um, Hopefully you'll get outside and enjoy some of the beautiful sunshine that we are going to be having. That's exactly where I'm going now. I need to run over the shop and grab some milk so that I can sit and have a nice cup of tea. But I will see you all soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.